Hello, it's me, your boy waifu, Sean VR, otherwise known here as Seeing Ya Later. I hope you're here for a... Wait, is my mouse showing up here? What the... Here today to talk about VTubing. Now, you guys wouldn't have seen this before yet, but this is, in fact, my 2D model. I haven't used it for a while, and I thought, you know, someone made a comment in the last video saying, hey, why don't you have a PNG tuber? And I was like, but I don't need a PNG tuber. I have a fully fledged 2D live model, or live 2D model even. And, you know, it's pretty good, but I never really got a chance to use it because, like, I only do a little bit of variety gaming, and honestly, I really feel like I should use it. So let's just go from here. Let's talk about VTubing. Whoopah! Any of you, I got into VTubing during COVID, but I was already a VR chat streamer. And the end thing was to get a 2D live model. 2D live? Live 2D? Who knows? It's one of those two. Anyway, I got myself a 2D version of myself. It's very beautiful. Do you want to see? I'll give you a quick look. Isn't she pretty? Now, I got my model from a company called Iron Vertex. And I have 4 variations of this model. And two of them are up to date. This is a very... And I'm not getting another one unless, like, this channel becomes massive because, honestly, this is really... These things are really expensive. These ain't no mistakes. I mean, it didn't cripple me, but goddamn. Anyway, VTubing is not cheap. On that note, let's talk about VTubing. What is VTuber? VTuber is a content creator using a digital avatar for computer anime characters. Behind them, they use these avatars to interact with their audience in real time through live streams and video and social media. And what does that mean? Basically, a bunch of weebs got together and were like, yo, I want to stream, but I don't want to show my face, so I'm going to do this. And honestly, that's a fair opinion because, like, it's not fun getting up in the morning and getting ready for a stream. Like, I primarily stream VR, right? And that's a lot of work doing that, too. Like, I'm standing on my feet, I'm jumping around, I'm being a crazy maniac. And, you know, the 2D model, it was a good investment, like, back in the day during COVID. Because, like, I could just, you know, if I was having, like, a sad day or, like, a low-energy day, I would just, you know, use this and play a game or just do just chatting or something. You know, it was pretty fun. It still is fun. I just, my audience prefers me in VR on Twitch, you know? Like, and that's not the same for everybody. Like, a lot of people, like, they prefer their VTubers to be 2D. Which I don't blame them. The 2D looks beautiful. And you got all this face tracking technology. You know, you still got the jiggles. You know?
I'm gonna go beat the fuck out of you. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the faint of heart. But we got, I got a lot of friends who used to do VTubing who no longer stream because it's financially crippling. It's financially crippling. Trying to keep up with all the trends. You know? I mean, let's talk about, like, actually, on that note, let's talk about the very first ever VTuber, Kizuna AI. Now, did they coin the term VTuber? I think they might have. But if they didn't, I'm saying they did, because this is my video, and you know what? I'm making up the rules here. But yeah, Kizuna AI was a Japanese lady who did the very first VTubing. She did, like, full-body 3D VTubing before it was popular. And I remember seeing videos of her and being like, whoa, who's this? Who's this crazy chick? Why is she an anime character? This is wild. This is wild. It was back in 2016. You know, like 2016, no one was doing that really. I mean, you had some people doing some stuff. I remember there was this AI lady. 3D AI VTuber first. I remember her name. But she was like an American lady, and she was a bit too realistic for me, you know? She looked like she was pulled out of a 1990s, like, super high-end movie. Like, 3D movie. Like, she looks like she was ripped out of, Advent Children or something, you know? Like, it was kind of weird. Like, I was kind of off-putting. I'm more into anime aesthetics anyway, because I'm a giant weeb, so I'm kind of more into that. There's like a large disparity between, like, the VTubing community. You have the male VTubers, the female VTubers, and the males who use female VTubers. And there must be females that use male VTubers, but It's kind of crazy because I remember it was weird because like I come from VR chat, so it was very, very normal for like men to use female avatars. It was just seen as like the done thing because female avatars are pretty. You know, they're very pretty. You can't deny it. Look at these. Wow. You know, and there wasn't a lot of good male models back then. So, like back in like 2018, 2019 type time zones. So everyone just went female, and the culture in VR shifted to female entertainer, but being a male, which is kind of cool. Like, VR is a pretty open place. Like, they just judge you on your personality. My personality stinks, but they just judge you on it. They just judge you on it. So, whereas I feel like in the 2D space, when regular VTubing was happening, there's a lot of women. Like, VTubing is a very female-dominated, like, career path. Because there's not a lot of women watchers of VTubers. Like, they do exist, obviously. But the percentage levels versus males is really different. Okay, it's really different. So, like, a lot of guys just want to see a girl move around. And bonus if they have a girl voice. That's great. That's crazy. That's good. That's wonderful. But there is a vibe where it is a bit weird to be a male VTuber in a female body. I used to get DMs about it and, like, angry messages, like, a long time ago. And I've heard from other male VTubers who do the same thing. Like, back in, like, I think it was 2020, 2021 type era. That was when a lot of people were getting a lot of crap for it. And I can kind of see because, like, a lot of people who are into VTubing nowadays, because guess how many VTubers are? There's like something ridiculous, and I think this is just on Twitch, but there's like 40,000 plus VTubers. 40,000 VTubers on Twitch. How crazy is that? That's so many. Too many to talk to all of them. It's kind of intimidating, actually. But there's a lot of normie people in there that do VTubing, because they were just doing like just chatting or whatever, really about gaming, and aren't really like into like certain cultural aspects of streaming. Some of it is just like the femboy era that appeared. Like, I'm from the femboy era. I think my Scottish is taking over. Era. The femboy era of VR chat, and I think, like, I was quite taken aback by, like, the amount of VTubers out there. Like, I think, like, back in 20 whatever, whenever VTubing popped off, those quick calculations, blah, blah, blah. But mostly it was a good time. It was a good time. Like, I was super interconnected with a lot of big VTubers. I was kind of quirky back then, because, like, people were like, what? This Scottish guy? Who's he? What's that? What's this? What? Like, I wouldn't say friends, but I was definitely acquaintances with a lot of bigger VTubers back then. I counted them as friends, but I'm very parasocial, so I require a friendship. Yeah. But there was a good atmosphere back then. Everyone was like super interconnected. I loved it. Kind of same with VR, but then like 2021 kind of scrolled around. There were so many VTubers, right? There were so many VTubers, and I would say that like VTubing's still fun, but when 2021 rolled around, you've seen the competitive edge happening. Iron Mouse had climbed to the top of the ranks. Like, Iron Mouse was our goddess. She's our queen. Like, I love her so much. She's so cool. Like, most of the vshojo girls, like, are really cool. I would say probably all of them, honestly. Like, I've never had a negative interaction with one. Although I do have a story, actually, but I'll tell that in a minute. But, like, that was, 2021 was that year where, like, yo, there was some people popping off. They were popping off. Because I remember Iron Mouse, right? Iron Mouse was, like, the streamer. And she was bigger than me when I was, like, really small on Twitch. I had, like, 50 viewers. And she used to come by my chat. Because we had the same artist for emotes. And she was just lovely. And Silverveil and stuff as well. And I felt like I was in, like, good contact with a lot of these people because of my artists. She's called Alfie at the moment. She went by another name back then, but it's Alfie now. She's really cool. Does a lot of wonderful art. But yeah, she put me in contact with like most of the vshojo girls, and it was really nice. And they would always pop by the chat and stuff, and like that really gave me a big kickoff because it made me confident to like communicate with other streamers. And right now, I don't really communicate with other streamers because I'm pretty battle scarred from the COVID era. I had a lot of bad interactions with people, man. Like, because I'm very opinionated, and it put me like, I personally, VTubing put me in a very negative brain aspect. That's why you never see me really using this either, because like back then, I felt like VTubing got toxic. It was about 2022, 2023. I feel like VTubing took a really weird path, and there was a lot of elitism going on. And there was a very anti-lewd atmosphere for a while, which I know is shocking these days because you see, wow, all those booba posts, you know, these days. And back then, there was a purity spiral happening. And I am very used to purity spirals. VR Chat had one when I started streaming. There were, when I say purity spiral, I mean people being against lewd stuff, which is bizarre when adults are against lewd stuff. Honestly, I was very taken aback. It doesn't even need to be like super spicy things, just like generally, like, just, I don't know, just, you know, being a little bit spicy. I don't know, like, I felt like that was a very weird era for VTubing. Like, I was still loving it, but I was having like a very negative attitude of the 2D environment. So I really deep dived back into VR, because I really wanted to just like go back to my roots to get better at like presenting myself. And I felt VTubing was making me very lazy, because I'm used to like jumping around and stuff. Like, I don't mind recording videos like this, but it's definitely like a different vibe than VR, you know? Channel. I just started talking about me. Yeah, so let's roll this back a bit. Our number one, our lady Iros. She is number one VTuber, I would say. She's wonderful. She streamed purely because of her love for gaming and the fact that she's stuck in her house. And a lot of people were always shocked to find out she was housebound, and that's why she's wild. Like, she's absolutely wild and off the hinges. She's got like a plasma thing. I don't know enough about it, but I know that like she's basically housebound. Although apparently I heard that she's getting a little bit better and she might be able to go outside and stuff. Like, that's kind of cool. I don't get enough opportunities to watch her because her Twitch stream runs at weird times for me where I can't watch her. Speaking of Twitch, you can find me live on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/SeanVR. And you can come talk to me on my Discord at discord.gg/SeanVR. Sorry, anyway. I have to get the plugs in, man. But yeah, Iros is wonderful. She's always innovating. She's always got like different avatars. She pours all her money back into the art community. But even then, like, she wasn't immune to the hate mobs. I think there's a term in Scotland that people can't be happy for people being happy, you know? And it's basically down to people can't see people doing better than them and be happy for them, right? And it's one of those things, like, if you get into VTubing or just streaming in general, if you pop off, everyone that was at your level will abandon you. And that's maybe not the case every time, but I would say like 8 out of 10 times that's going to happen, because it's just jealousy. And people who stick with you as you're rising, those are your friends. Those are your homies for life, through, you know, good times and strife. You know, you just gotta stick with them, for the good and the bad. You know, because and I feel like that happened with Iron Mouse and Silverveil and Zentrea and stuff. Like, I'm using them as an example because when I was a VR chatter, like just starting out VR chatting, right? We're a different breed over there. We got our own terminologies for stuff. But Silverveil, right? Silverveil and Zentrea were pretty much, it looked like from the outside that they were bullied out of VR chat. People were very hostile to Zentrea. When they started doing VTubing, VR chat people turned on them like a wild dog. And same with Silver Veil. They were counted as too lewd. How dare they show cleavage? How dare they try and play games other than VR chat? How dare they? You know, like, it was awful. It was awful. And I remember distinctly, like, the attitude being, man, screw those people. Screw those people. I honestly was always flabbergasted at people's opinions like that. It's very disheartening to see. And I would love, honestly, if people could just work together. I was a very, like, when I always bring these things back to me because it's reference points, but, like, when I was just starting out in VR chat, I was very, very, very positive, happy. A whirlwind of emotions. I couldn't believe streaming was a thing. I would get emotional every time I did a 24-hour stream because I couldn't believe that, like, 30, 40 people would come watch me. Then 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 900, 1,000 people would come watch me, like, hourly. That was crazy. That was crazy. But then I suffered from the same thing. I flew too close to the sun. Now, they had a better reaction to it than I did. Because when I flew too close to the sun, as a Scottish person, I fought back. This was a mistake. This was a mistake. Because I thought this worked like real life. I thought VTubing was like real life. I thought I was dealing with other men and other women who were who thought the same way as me. And I would always be like very positive, very happy. But then when someone came for me, I'd be like, yo, what the hell? I'm gonna fight you. How dare you come at me? Brett. And, like, I would just go crazy on people, and I would just lash out. But eventually, I was just lashing out at everybody, and people were becoming paranoid for me, and I was lashing out everywhere. And it set me on this really bad spiral, which I would like to warn people about. If you're getting into VTubing or streaming, be careful of the gremlins. The brain gremlins, they're infectious. And especially during COVID, when VTubing was popping off, a lot of people got the brain gremlins. And it made them see people like Silverveil and Zentrea and Iron Mouse and Project Melody and all those people from back then. Like, it made them seem like they were the bad guys because they were doing well. And there's a very common mentality in VR chat as well, where if people are doing well, they get shut down. If someone's popping off, find dirt on them. If, you know, like, it's bizarre. I had to. The best part about me being me is I am a Ludi through and through. I am very open about what I am. Like, I'm not even that bad at Ludi. I'm kind of like Gremlin Ludi. Like, I like Lud stuff. I get very excited about Lud stuff, but I don't follow through on it, you know? And people were always looking for dirt on me. They couldn't get any. Like, and if they thought they did, they went to my wife. Like, my wife would get DMs on the daily. And she would just be like, have you seen this DM? And I'd be like, I know, it's wild. People are wild. So VTubing can be quite scary. It can be very invasive into your life. Very invasive. I'm hoping that, like, maybe in the future that VTubers become more coordinated with each other and maybe one day just kind of get what they want out of it. When they go in for it for fun, they come out of it with fun, you know? I've went on, like, a bizarro rant here. This went, like, in a totally different rabbit hole than I thought it was going to go. But, like, honestly, I think it's very valid points. I was actually going to go into this with a very serious script. And I've kind of just went off script. I threw the script out of the window. I was like, wah! You know? But that's how I roll. That's how I roll. I'm very in the moment, in the passion type of guy. But my genuine thoughts, like, on VTubing is VTubing's wonderful. People should definitely get involved in it. It's a great hobby, but beware, it is costly, mentally, and to your wallet. If you're going to get into it, be careful, okay? on that note, let's move on to my next topic, prices. Okay, prices are crazy. This is the first time I'm going to talk about how much my model cost. This model was $4,500. I got this from Iron Vertex, which is, I think it's a tier 3 Iron Vertex model. And I got this in 2021. But I got this 21 or 22, right? And this is the second incarnation of this model. I have a succubus version. I don't use it because it's a little bit too spicy for stream. And I have 2 earlier variations where I used to have problems where people would come in and say, "Why do you look like Iron Mouse? Why do you look like Nyanners?" Because we had the same artist. And people would, like, it was so annoying. But yeah, it's a lot of money. That's a lot of investment. Then you're talking about, I got like a $500 iPhone from back then. And wow. It's not cheap. But back then I was making mega bucks during streaming because COVID. Everyone was making mega bucks during COVID. But I was making mega bucks during COVID, so I was like, yo, let's go buy models. This is forever, baby. But the benefit of me spending that much money on this model is it's really high quality. It's very stylized, very beautiful. My VR model's based off of it. And I love it. It was a great investment. Would I spend it again? Probably not. Unless I was doing really well. Then I maybe get like another model. But like, I went for the best of the best because I was like, my community deserves the best. I'm going to get a good model. We're going to use it. Like, you don't want to feel like you've wasted money. There's a lot of VTubers out there who have spent tens of thousands of dollars in order to do the streaming thing. And you don't want to be that guy or girl who's went that deep into debt. Okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. Benefits of VTubing. One of the major benefits of VTubing is the fact that you can be naked while streaming. I, for one, have never done that. The downside to that is you can become like a filthy hermit. I know some people that became filthy hermits because of this. Second benefit to VTubing, right? You gotta admit, it makes you cute. And if you're a guy, you gotta prepare yourself. I never used to be this cute. I know I look cute, but if you hung out with me in VR chat, like, I'm fucking adorable. I'm super duper adorable. And that's purely because I puppet myself well. I am a puppeteer of justice and adorability. And maybe slightly psychotic, but VR chat kind of fit my psychoticism, psychosism. VTubing kind of like helped me with it because like for years I know I'm this dichotomy of like proud Scottish warrior trapped inside the body that wants to be a cute anime girl. Thousands of years of proud warrior heritage led to this moment. And it's honestly, I'm happy about it. I'm literally ending my bloodline because of this. But like, it definitely helps you out. Like, it makes you feel more confident. Don't need to worry about what you look like. You just need to have a shining, bright personality. A little bit of charisma. And that's okay. Disadvantages of being a VTuber. Social pressures. Your life's no longer yours. You have to play things and do things that other people want you to do. You have to be nice to people that you hate. You have to... you have to prepare yourself for interactions that you don't want to deal with. There was a day I was on Takahata's stream. And I left it because I wasn't prepared to deal with people. I was very excited, infatuated with the fact that I was about to go on Takahata's stream. I hadn't done a collab for forever. And I was like, this is it. I'm gonna get to talk to one of the guys. I love his voice acting. His streams are funny as shit. And I'll get to meet some other VTubers. And I got on this stream and I got railroaded by the other VTubers that were there. I think Takahata thought I was more ADHD than I actually was. I'm pretty unhinged. But I really like conversations and chatting with people. I'm a yapper. I love it. And I got really sad, man. I got railroaded off that stream. Not by Takahata, not by him, but the other VTubers I was on there with. I wanted to participate in the conversation. It was just a who's louder than who match. I'm not into that. I sat there for a couple minutes. I tried to get my word in a couple of times. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like some of these people I'm on with. The furry guy was cool, though. But I don't like the... I don't like some of these people I'm on here with. I know them from other places, and I'm like, this isn't fun for me. So I made some excuse, and I was like, oh, there's a mouse! Meow! And I went to chase it, and that was a situation, like, I felt really uncomfortable in. And it's good to be brave enough to leave the situation that you're not enjoying. I messaged Takahata after that stream, and I was like, yo, dude, like, nothing against you, but, like, I ain't having fun right now. But thank you very much for having me on. And he checked up on me as well. He made sure I was okay, and that's really cool of him. But I definitely, like, you have to be prepared to be in situations you aren't going to enjoy. In VR chat, I have been in many situations where I was forced into it, and because you're in a 3D environment, it's a lot more difficult to get out of those situations with other streamers. People can be very in your face, and it's not nice. I actually was one of the first movements of getting out of streamer lobbies in VR chat because of that. I don't want to say I started that, but I definitely was one of the first people to be like, man, screw these groups of streamers, man. This is toxic as shit. They're all out to kill each other. I just left. Did my own thing. Made my community stronger. You know, like, went off and... Yeah, I mostly did my own thing. With my community. I love my community. My community's the best. They've been there for me through thick and thin. Like, always there to have a laugh with me. If I'm having a bad time, like, some of those guys will just cheer me right up. It's so good. I love it. And finally, just stream. Stream for fun, stream for laughs, stream for good times, through bad, stream through sickness and, you know, good health. It's like a marriage, man. Like, you gotta just do it. If you love it and you're passionate about it, do it. Understand me? Do it. Because what's the harm, right? I used to work in a chicken restaurant for like 7 years. And now I've almost did streaming for the same length of time. Like, anybody can do it. You just need to be brave enough. Have fun. Go for it. On that note, come by and watch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/SeanVR. And leave a comment and a message below about, like, maybe your interactions with VTubers. Maybe, like, you've had, like, a good one, a bad one. You've thought about getting into VTubing. And if you've just got any thoughts about, like, these videos or this, like, community in general, like, just tell me below. We'll maybe have a talk about it one time. But for now, I have been Sean. You have been YouTube. And I'll see you later for another video. Yippee!